Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Traffic Light Reviews. My name is Michael Munoz.
And I'm Steven Munoz, and today on this episode we are talking about the Netflix original movie Cuties.
Yeah.
Now, this movie depends on who you talk to, whether or not it's a coming-of-age story of a young girl, or as the internet has let everybody know, that it's something to cancel Netflix over. Now, when you take a look at this movie, it's very much important that you take a look at it from your own perspective only. At least that's what I feel when it comes to this type of subject matter, as it is a story of an immigrant girl that her family's moved from Senegal to France, and she's trying to acclimate herself, being just an 11-year-old girl as she's trying to make her way and find herself throughout this entire process by practically having no help from anybody, not even her mother, unfortunately. It really is a struggle for her to assimilate, and we see that process as she progresses, as she's trying to come into her own. It hits a little more at home for me because, yes, I am having a girl. I am going to be the father of a girl. So this movie definitely was an eye-opener for me in terms of what a young girl might go through. One of the more poignant scenes in the movie is when she has her period for the first time, and the revelation of that with her relationship with her mother. Yeah. And just like how some old school people are, as we are Hispanic, even though we look white, but yeah, it's very common in the old school that parents don't really give you that talk. They don't really give you all the tools you need to actually, be as supportive as possible. They just only know what their parents did. Yeah. So yes, it really is important for this type of story to be told, albeit the controversy, even though there is reason for controversy. There's no denying that. With as one of the ways that this young girl assimilates herself is by making friends in school, and the friends that she makes is a dance troupe, and she learns some pretty provocative dances and teaches it to them as they are getting ready to compete in a dance competition.
I personally had no interest whatsoever in ever seeing this movie. At all. I didn't even know if it was a movie. I thought it was like a TV show on Netflix, maybe a documentary series, kind of like Dance Moms or something, where it's, every episode and we see like 20 minutes and we see these kids go through these provocative dances that their parents put them through, just like all the toddlers and tiara stuff that's out there right now. But it's not. It was a movie. My wife told me about it. She said that a lot of people are getting upset about this sort of film, and I still didn't want to see it. And then one day I saw one article saying that subscribers of Netflix are canceling their Netflix subscription because of this movie. Netflix loses $9 billion. I was like, okay, I got to see this movie now. And I normally I don't like watching things just because everybody tells me I'm supposed to see it. But I watched this movie, and it definitely did not have the reaction from me that I was expecting based on everything I had read about people's reaction to the film. She's a young girl. She's 11 years old. She comes from a very Muslim family. Are they Muslim? Are they Arabic?
I believe, so something along that line, yeah.
Yes, I mean, they do go to prayer services in the film, and the young girl sort of feels like she's not part of that. But she's trying to be the good daughter, but she doesn't know who she is yet. She doesn't know the neighborhood. She doesn't know the people yet. And of course, she befriends a young girl who's her age, goes to her school, and she dances very provocatively. Now, I know we've all seen little girls out there, and little boys, that dress in certain ways that we're just like, what is that about? And the movie comments on that. The movie is, in my opinion, not child porn like all these articles are trying to say. No. It is nowhere near that bad. However, there are certain dance scenes that are very provocative in the film that may upset some viewers, and I understand that. But what you have to understand is that the reason for these scenes to be shot in this way is to make the viewer feel uncomfortable, to get you to understand what's going on. These kids are working on these dances because they think this is what adult dancing is. They think this is what real dancing is. Mm-hmm. The booty popping and the twerking and all that nonsense and the finger in the mouth. You and I both know that's not dancing. Or at least that's how we feel. But these girls are trying to find themselves. It's coming of age story. These girls live a certain way. This young girl lives a different way. And And the young girl, the star of the film, she's trying to find her way around everything. How to please her mom, how to, please her new friends. And she desperately tries to hold on. And then we get to see her character just transform into somebody that she doesn't even recognize anymore. It's a really intense film. I thought it was very beautiful. And I know it's a weird word to say when you're talking about a movie called Cuties. It's not a Saturday night film. I don't think it's a movie that you will watch with your friend over popcorn. But if you're studying coming-of-age stories or the human condition or different cultures colliding, young kids in a new society, young kids in any society, the movie is prevalent. I think the movie is prevalent to people all over the place. It does represent somebody some group We're all trying to find ourselves, especially at the age of 11. It's a very confusing time. I remember that time being very confusing for me.
Well, I guess the big thing that this movie is trying to do is tell the story of a young child on their own, practically trying to discover their own identity, and all of the different types of ways you can unfortunately fail through that, or inadvertently hurt your loved ones through that, and the struggle it is for a young girl at that point in her life where, like every cliche movie always says, you're becoming a woman now, at that moment in her life as well. And so the bigger thing for me when watching this movie, I have to think of it like a parent of a young girl that I'm bringing up. And the only thing it does is further push the point that, yes, I need to be more aware. Yes, I need to be more apparent. Yes, I need to be there for my child. Yes, I need to support my child. And I need to give everything possible to make sure I help my child. And it's hard. It's tough in this life, no matter what walk of life you're from. And that's why this movie is important. That's why it won awards at Cannes. That's why it's been recognized, because it really is highlighting some of the things that we all need to take very careful consideration for.
I agree. I give this film a green light right off the start, but at the same time, it's not for everyone. I'm not going to say everybody should watch this movie. If you're a parent, I think you should watch it. If you're a kid, I think you should watch it with your parents' permission. Okay? The truth is, I think parents should really watch this movie because there's something to be said about a loving parent who loves their children, who wants to do right by them, but is not present. And we see that in this film. We see a mother who truly loves her daughter, but is raising her the way that she knows how, and is not willing to bend or assimilate from that until we get to the end of the film. I think it's an eye opener, because sometimes we have no idea what's going on with our kids, and we think we're doing right by them, and they're living this whole other life without us. And the movie shows you that. And, all the controversy, 20, 30 years ago, we had a movie came out called Kids. And that movie had a lot of, flack and controversy when it first came out, showing the depiction of sex and drugs and alcohol. And, oh my God, is that really what's happening? Yes, that's what's happening. This movie is not trying to glorify these ridiculous dances, it's trying to show you what's out there and to be aware of that. And it's beautifully made. I think the young actress in the film does a tremendous job of balancing the drama with the anger, the sadness, the happiness, all of that. And that's hard to get from a child actress. All the child actors in this film were really good, I never felt like anybody was playing a part. I really felt like I was watching these kids in their natural habitat. And it really made me think twice about the kind of dad I want to be. So get the green light from me.
The bigger thing too, when it comes to whether or not this movie is worth your time, is these kids really are highlighted in such a way that we don't see regularly. So that's why it's probably a little controversial when you see something you're not used to, as these girls are just copying dance moves that they see in music videos. And yeah, it's a little upsetting to see 11-year-old do what Cardi B and J-Lo do. So yes, that might be a little jaw-dropping. And right. What's so important by the end of the movie is that the main character, she realizes She realizes what she's doing. She finally does throughout the whole time, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like the person she's becoming. It smacks her in the face so much so that she has to leave the dance competition. Spoiler alert. Okay, so yes, I'm glad that they really took that time to really play on that a lot more, to push that narrative that yes, we all can realize our mistakes. We can realize how bad they are, and we could try to turn a new leaf and become our own person. I'm going to give it the green light, and I think this is something that definitely is worth your time to watch. It is on Netflix right now, if you still have Netflix. Okay, so yes, but yes, definitely, kids should watch it with their parents, and parents, I would, advise you to watch it with your children too. Have that conversation about something like this.
Yeah.
Right? So that's going to be all for this episode of Cuties, of the Cuties review, spoiler-esque review, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and we will have new videos every Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching.